Halloween by Deborah Hill and John Carpenter, the film that kicked off a decade-long trend in the horror film genre. Halloween tells the story of Michael Myers, first introduced as a child, who stabbed his 17-year-old sister on the Halloween of 1963. 15 years later, Myers escapes from a mental institution and returns to his hometown of Haddonfield, where he stalks a group of high school girls. The original Halloween doesn't provide Michael Myers with a motivation for his killings, instead keeping him ambiguous as a villain. It leaves the impression that anyone is capable of inexplicable murder, especially a child. This could happen anywhere, even in a seemingly pleasant suburb. Halloween isn't an isolated horror movie. The murders depicted occur not in a Texas wasteland or a far-off motel, but in the far more relatable setting of a typical American town. An escaped maniac could be in your home and you wouldn't even know it until it was too late. Cries for help in Halloween go ignored by apathetic neighbors who don't want to get involved.
Please! Can't you hear me? Oh God!
Michael Myers is the central character of Halloween despite also being the film's antagonist. The story follows Myers' journey from the very beginning of the film to the very end. The victims of Halloween are a group of teenage girls unaware that we are watching them along with Michael. The only connection between the first murder and the later murders is the involvement of young babysitters. The only victims actually shown dying are all teenagers. The corpse of a mechanic is seen, but we never see his death on screen. Laurie Strode, a high school girl played by Jamie Lee Curtis, is the protagonist of Halloween. What separates Strode from her friends isn't her supposed virginity, but the fact that Laurie is shown to care and be selfless. Laurie chooses to babysit on Halloween along with her friend Annie. Annie convinces Laurie to watch the child she herself should be watching so that she may go out and have a good time with her boyfriend. Annie is murdered soon after. Another of Laurie's friends is killed after getting drunk and having sex in a stranger's house without thinking of the consequences. Judith Myers should have been watching her 6-year-old brother, but instead gets involved with a boy and ends up being killed by the child she should have been taking care of. Laurie was different, though. She watched the child she was supposed to watch and another she didn't even have to. Laurie may have smoked marijuana at one point in the movie, but this didn't get in the way of her job as a caretaker. Laurie even provided some wholesome Halloween activities for the children. The only time she abandons her post is to check up on her friends next door. Laurie's a good babysitter, a good friend, and is mindful of Halloween tradition. Because of these elements of Laurie's character, Michael Myers is incapable of actually killing her, much like she is unable to kill him.
I killed him.
You can't kill the boogeyman.
The only character aware of Michael as a threat to Haddonfield is a psychiatrist, Dr. Samuel Loomis, played by Donald Pleasance. Loomis should be a man ruled by logic, but his patient's intense inhumanity forces the doctor to believe that Myers is an incarnation of pure evil, an avatar of the devil that will perform dark deeds on Earth for all eternity. Loomis knows Michael better than anybody else. Nobody else understands Michael's true capabilities. Most only see Dr. Loomis's extreme concern for Haddonfield as an irrational paranoia.
I told everybody! Nobody listened.
Even though Loomis actively searches for Michael, the doctor isn't actually successful in stopping his patient, and has little to no effect towards halting Michael's progress for much of the film. Loomis only serves to provide exposition, and act as a mild deus ex machina by preventing the death of Laurie Strode at the very last minute. Michael Myers is less of a man and more of a force taking physical shape. He defies reason. Michael is shown to instantly know how to drive despite having spent 15 years in an institute, apparently only staring at a wall. Nick Castle, the actor who played Michael under the mask, establishes the character in Halloween as moving and behaving in a mechanical fashion. Every movement performed by Michael is done efficiently, deliberately, and with precision. Injuries only temporarily halt Michael. When he falls out of a window after being shot numerous times, Michael disappears and he could be anywhere. The closing statement is that evil is unstoppable and omnipresent.
What's the boogeyman?
As a matter of fact, it was.
Michael wears a white mask for much of Halloween. It's a modified Captain James T. Kirk mask. Taking off Michael's mask is the only thing besides harming him that is shown to stop him in his tracks. Michael ceases to attack Laurie at one point to put his mask back on, separating himself from the world around him once again. The mask is a neutral face free of expression. Michael's victims are forced to die seeing a pure, emotionless face that's totally indifferent about killing them. The score of Halloween, composed by John Carpenter, is haunting. It makes the mundane seem unsettling and uncomfortable. It's an atmospheric soundtrack. It suggests Michael's sinister presence when he isn't seen. Michael isn't shown extensively in order to create suspense. Halloween employs certain techniques to obscure Michael. The film opens with an impressive, seamless sequence shown from Michael's perspective as a child. At other times, Michael is just a shape in the shadows. Halloween makes excellent use of darkness. Michael seems to dissolve in the shadows, slowly revealing himself. When it was released in 1978, Halloween was a critical and commercial success. It was one of the highest-grossing independent films of all time, demonstrating that a major studio need not be involved with the production of a film in order for it to be considered a success. Halloween spawned a franchise, but also a legion of imitation films that utilized its low-budget approach and mimicked the basic plot structure of a killer in a mask stalking teenagers. There were many commercial successes in the horror genre during the 1980s, but few of these films have reached Halloween's legendary status.